Right guys, today we're going to be talking about the 50mm lens. So let's get shoes on, head outside, and I'll talk to you a lot more about it when we're there. So, the 50mm, why is it such a, let's say, loved lens in the whole photography community? The first reason really is the price. You cannot beat it. It's like, I think I bought mine for like 100 and something, and it's that cheap, you just can't like give it a miss really, can you? For what you get for your money, it's 100% worth it. Like, it goes down to f1.8, so you can shoot in really low light. You've got a really nice bokeh in the background, and it just gives you a really like buttery smooth effect like in your background, and it just keeps that subject in a crisp sort of quality. You can't beat it. So number two, so the second reason, sort of merging into the first one a little bit, is the bokeh. Like, you see the really like out of focus circle lights in people's pictures. That's what you call bokeh, if you didn't know. I've just thought I'd explain it. And with the 50mm, because it goes down to 1.8, the aperture, it allows for that sort of like really nice smooth bokeh in the background. So it's, yeah, chef's kiss, mwah, lovely. And if you're a portrait photographer, which I'm not, but if you are, it's the perfect lens, or one of them, because there's that and the 85mm. I've heard that does wonders for portrait photography. So if you're looking for a lens, one of them two, absolutely perfect lens for it. Moving on to point number three is the weight of it. It is really lightweight, it's small, it's a compact lens, so it's pretty much just like a tiny little lens. I'll get it out in a minute, it's in my bag, but it's just a tiny little lens and it does the job very well. Speaking of the lens size, I've just got it out of my bag. Look at how small it is. It's just a tiny little lightweight lens. You can't really beat the price. You can get them brand new for about 120 to 150. It don't really matter what like camera brand you're shooting on, they're all pretty much based on the same price. But I've been looking, and second hand you can get them from like between £100 and £100 and £50. So from that sort of like price range, second hand, it's cheap, very cheap. And I know that photography can get very expensive very quickly, because this camera that I'm shooting on right now was around £2,000, and not everybody's got that sort of money to be buying cameras and like camera gear and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got whatever camera you've got, it's going to be a cheap lens, roughly around £150. So it's not really too shabby, to be honest. Point number, I can't even remember, probably like 4 or 5 or something like that. It's like easy to travel with, because I've travelled a little bit with my camera, and having like small lenses, it obviously reduces the weight of your bag drastically, because I imagine a 70-200 or a 105, I can imagine they're very heavy, and the like weight limit on planes and stuff is like 10 kilograms. So a bag this small with them sort of lenses in, it's gonna get weighty. So it keeps you like your bag really nice and lightweight, and you don't really want to be carrying like super heavy stuff on your back all day. Like, let's say you're doing like street photography, you're walking around the city, you don't want that heavy bag on your back all day, because it can get very tiring, I imagine. So the next point, let's think, what have we got? I've got some notes down here. Let's just have a quick gander. So that's another good point actually. It's very good with low light. So if you're doing like night stuff, you want in that low 1.8 aperture, just so then you can like let a lot more light in and not have to suffer the consequences of like bringing up your ISO and all that sort of stuff and making your photos really grainy. But to be honest, nowadays it doesn't really matter, because of obviously this new Lightroom thing that they brought in, which is like the denoise enhance thing, and it works like perfectly. You can't really complain at it, but it's just nice to be able to use that sort of low f-stop just to be sure that you're not going to have like really noisy, grainy like photos and stuff like that. So that is another really good point as to why you should get the 50mm as your first lens to buy. And it's nice to just get away from the variable aperture that the kit lens comes with. So like what I'm shooting on now is the 28-70, it's the kit lens. It's absolutely awful, I hate it because of that variable aperture. So when I'm zooming in to 70mm, it'll go up to 5.6 and that's as low as it will go, which is atrocious. And it gets away from that obviously because it's a fixed focal length as well, but it's just nice to have. And that sums it up really. It's just an all-around good lens. So if you're a beginner photographer, you're looking at buying your first lens, this is the one that I would recommend. This is the first lens that I bought for my first camera. It's the first one I bought for this one, just purely because of how good it is and how cheap it is. It's just a perfect lens really. You can use it for anything, street photography, portraiture, night stuff, night out photography, all that sort of stuff. You can use it for literally anything. And it's just a perfect all-around lens. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. And I will see you in the next one.